Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. The rain setting in as we get set for quarterfinal action here on a Friday at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships. Czechia into the quarters after a spirited effort in a 2-1 loss to Canada. Meanwhile, the Italians are the story here of the championship, riding their veteran netminder to a couple of big wins. Jamie Neugebauer is alongside myself, Darren Dupont. Jamie, this is what we played all week for, to get into the medal rounds and the playoffs. It's the quarterfinals today, and we're excited to be here.
Excited to be here. Both these teams, mission accomplished to some degree to get to this point. The quarterfinals certainly on these two clubs' radar. Darren, two Central European countries that are close to each other, will know each other well. Should be a lot of fun.
Two teams that I think hope to be here, happy to be where they are, and playing with house money, especially the Italians, who have just been the Cinderella story of these championships. Norway threw everything at the Italians, but it was Stilitano, it was DePaoli, it was Italy, who really has been shocking the world. They've shocked the world. You mentioned his name there, Santino Stilitano, the goaltender. Nobody's stopped more pucks in this tournament, and guess what, Darren? He's 24 days from his 54th birthday. Czech head coach Jakub Novotny, after a 2-1 loss to Canada, couldn't have been more proud of his group. Talked about how emotional it was. Yes, against Canada it was a loss, but just 2-1. They really showed the world in that game just how far this Czech para hockey program has come. And there's the lineup. Martin Kudela, who was so strong against Canada, he'll be in goal again today. Yeah, Martin Kudela, there's their star. Michel Geyer as well, doing what he needs to do. He needs to score goals for this Czech team with a lot of young forwards, Darren especially, and he's really led the way. But what more can we say about Kudela? He's made a lot of stops for the Czechs. Andreas Macri now wearing the captaincy. The last couple of games for the Italians, with their captain Gianluca Cavalier out of the lineup. So you see Andrea Macri there starting with that group, and their coach Mirko Bianchi. Again, they've really embraced the underdog role as we get set for Czechia and Italy here in quarterfinal number 1. We are underway in the opening period. It'll be China-Korea in the late quarterfinal later on, but quick offside call as we get started. We'll see how much the Czechs will force the action early on here. Italy has really bought into the game plan of sit back, bend but don't break, and capitalize when the opportunities come. And Mirko Bianchi, the 34-year-old, has separated his big line. Stefan Kaufman, Nils Larsch, and Christophe DePaoli. They played a lot together this tournament. Separated for this one, Darren, to try to spread out the offense just a little bit. Well, there's DePaoli, Christophe DePaoli, back for Andreas Macri. Macri's long shot was blocked on the way through by Patrick Sedlacek. Out of center ice. Hetchko will send it in. Stilitano will leave it there for Macri, the defenseman, who takes a hard bump from Vaclav Hetchko. Still tied up down back of the goal. They continue to work away at it. Macri's going to come on that puck. Michael Geyer is there to the blue line. Long shot blocked on the way through. On the right side, Hetchko tried to center it. That's broken up and cleared all the way down the ice. And does this have enough to go for icing? And it will against the Italians here in the first period. Nobody has faced more shots on goal than our two goaltenders in the game here this afternoon. Martin Kudela and Santino Stilitano, the two netminders for Czechia and Italy. And for Stilitano, stopped 16 of 17 shots in that win over Norway. Then he had a 26 save shutout against the Germans as well. That was a big win for Stilitano and the Italians to get to this spot after the Germans looked good through the first couple. And Kudela was great against Canada as well, as you mentioned, 20 of 22 against Canada, against a hostile environment. Wagner off the draw shot, Pavel Novotny. Now Zelinka, Radek Zelinka's shot was blocked on the way through. Ohar sending it in. The Italian defenseman Balacetti couldn't locate the puck. Large coming in to help out along with Kaufman. Comes back to the blue line now. Radek Zelinka. Back up top for Wagner. A shot, and he put it up high over top of the goal. Good pressure from the Czechs early on. To the corner. Comes back up for Zelinka. Zelinka right in the face-off dot. Waits. Drops that puck off. Long shot was blocked on the way through. Zdenikov back for Zelinka. Radek Zelinka turning back into the middle. Can't get the shot away. DePauli will clear it for Italy. They're completing the line change. So Kubish off the bench had to let that puck go. Pavel Kubish up ahead to center, out of the reach. And Alex Enderle will send it in. Hechko giving chase along with Antochi. Into the corner for Vaclav Hechko. He takes a hard bump there from Andreoni. Up to the line for Kubish, and it's just out of his reach and back out to center ice here as we're approaching the 3-minute mark of the first period.
Great start, Darren, for the Czechs, getting some offensive zone time, taking advantage of the fact that they've been playing at a higher pace maybe in Group A in the group stage. The Italians, though, you've mentioned it a number of times, Darren, very comfortable sitting back and waiting for their chance.
Puck down in the corner now. And now back up the center. This will be another icing call against Italy. 3 minutes and 24 seconds into a scoreless opening period.
The officials have been outstanding at this tournament, Darren. Not a story at all, which is what you want to hear about referees, right? Kenneth Danielson, the referee from Norway, Igor Hus from the Slovakia, and Lari Nittila, the recently turned 30-year-old from Finland, the linesman. I think they've done a great job here.
And they come from all over the world to be here in Moose Jaw. Now, Zelinka. Shot was blocked. Gets it right back on his stick, though. Radek Zelinka. Back up top for Jakub Novotny. His shot was stopped on the way through. Italy under some early pressure, but they're used to it. They'll clear it down the ice. And this will be another icing call against the Italians. Miroslav Novotny with the good chance down at the other end. Through all this pressure, just 2 Czechia shots have found their way on the Italian goal.
Yeah, lots of offensive zone time for Czechia so far, and these two countries played each other in both big tournaments in 2022 at the Beijing Paralympic Games and in Nova Scotia at the World Para Hockey Cup. And the Beijing game was a blowout for the Czechs, a 5-0 win. The one in Nova Scotia, a 3-2 Czechian win. So Italy has a good result against Czechia relatively recently. They'll get confidence from that.
Sedlacek now for Mikhail Geyer, down into the corner. Had a streaking Dolashal working his way in, but Pavel Dolashal couldn't get a clean stick on it. Now down low for Hechko. Hechko being watched by Enderle, back up to the blue line. Dolashal lets a shot go. Again, deflected on the way through. Italy, great job protecting the front of the net. More pressure from the Czechs on a penalty call here coming up to Italy. And so Matteo Ramadi Marnini heading to the penalty box. Scoreless. Quarterfinal one here in the opening period of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships.
Culligan Water isn't just a name. It's a promise to put you and your loved ones first. Because with cleaner, softer water, you can feel confident about your water. Culligan Water has been the local water expert since 1936, when we pioneered the water softener. We've continued delivering unmatched service by meeting you where you are, whether it's where you live or where you work. And your satisfaction has always been our greatest reward. But that's not all. Culligan Water offers a responsible and economical alternative to the waste created from single-use plastic bottles. Our systems make it easier to preserve the planet, its landscapes, and its oceans. Because at the heart of everything Culligan Water does is a commitment to provide better water for a better world.
Checks to the power play as we return to Moose Jaw. Matteo Romati Marnini is in the penalty box for the Italians. They'll clear it to the blue line, and it will come out. The Czechs have the third-ranked power play here at the Worlds, 2 for 5, working on just their 6th power play opportunity of the tournament. Meanwhile, for the Italians on the penalty kill, they've allowed a couple of goals on 9 shorthanded opportunities. The Italians do have 1 shorthanded goal to their credit, so the opportunistic Italians see if they can jump on the Czechs here. If there's an opportunity on this power play. Comes to Macri, the Italian zone, and he'll clear it down the ice.
Neither of these teams have really lit up the scores at this tournament, Darren. 5 goals each over the 3 group stage games, so that special teams, that power play for Czechia is so important.
Yeah, it sure is. 2 teams that sit back and take care of the zone defensively and try and take advantage when the chances come. Miles Larch almost created a turnover, and that would have been a shorthanded opportunity. Comes to Karel Wagner on the left side. Wagner, he's got Radek Zelinka in the corner, being pressured by Niles Larch. Couple of 11s going head to head. Back to Hečko at the blue line. Vaclav Hečko walking right into the circle. A shot that was fought off and hung on to for the stop. Gabriel Araudo, the Italian netminder, making the big save.
And Araudo was in net for the Czechs in Beijing against the Italians. And he's been really, really sharp. And there's Nils Larch, 2 assists so far in this tournament. But boy, Darren, does he play an important role. What a great defensive forward he has been for the Italians all tournament. A real tower of power in the middle of the ice for them.
Long shot, that just goes wide on the near side. Close call. Hečko back up towards the blue line, and it goes right past Pavel Dolosol. More from this Czech power play with 30 seconds left in the advantage. Patrick Sidlacek to the left side, finds Geyer. Mikkel Geyer watched by Enderle, off the end of his stick, and Kaufman now, Stefan Kaufman clearing it down the ice for Italy. Just 10 seconds to go on the power play. Kudela will leave it. One last opportunity up the ice here for the Czechs. They're going to have a little trouble leaving their own zone, and the penalty is over. Czechia 0 for 1 now in the power play. 2-on-2, 3 turns into a 3-on-2. Left side, shot goes upstairs and out the other side. Radek Zelinka left it there for Karel Wagner. He's stripped of the puck, a centering feed. And Andreoni was astride behind the puck. Back at center, it's Macri. Macri just gets it across the line, and that's it. Checks now away to center ice with some speed. Novotny for Zelinka, back in front for Olhar, and a shot, but a great defensive play by Andrea Macri. The Italian captain getting physical and breaks up a great scoring chance. Now Macri on it again, and he'll work the loose puck out to center ice. Bumped hard into the board was Larch. Miroslav Novotny now for Olhar. Alex Olhar drops that puck off. And Zdeněk Hobb with speed to center. Hobb over the line, drops it off for Karel Wagner. Wagner a shot, and that's right on Stopped by Arado. The Czechs are coming in waves now. That errant pass will be broken up by Macri. And a little relief here for Italy. Macri, long shot from the outside. Stopped by Cadella. 6:25 to go in the first period. Scoreless here in quarterfinal one. The winner of today's game will meet the USA. As here's a chance in. Pavel Dolashal. He takes a bump and draws a penalty. And as we get the call, tripping, Czechia will go to the power play for the second time in the opening period.
And getting a little scrappy out there. There's maybe a non-call on a hit on the Italian goalie, Arado, a couple shifts earlier. Now Dolajal got all tangled up, and the Czechs are going to get another power play. They're 0 for 1, as you said, in the middle of the ice. Of course, these countries pretty close to each other in the middle of Europe, part of the European Union, so again, a lot of familiarity between these two groups.
So it's Usabayu and Tochi that's in the penalty box for Italy right now for tripping. And the Czechs get to the power play for the second time, as you mentioned, 0 for 1. And they start the breakout inside their own zone. Hečko up ahead to center ice for Sedlacek. Sedlacek in for Hečko. The Italian penalty kill continuing to play well here in this opening period in their first two opportunities. Sedlacek will play this forward. Geyer's going to give chase with Enderle into the corner. Enderle on it first for Italy. Alex Enderle turns, tries to clear it. That's broken up and kept alive here by Czechia. Right wing side, Karel Wagner. Right in, and a glove stop made by the Italian netminder. Gabriel Arado's played pretty well so far. His fifth stop in the opening period. Now Wagner trying to catch up to it, and does. Into the corner. Nifty move by Geyer. Back up to the blue line. Dropped off. Zelinka. Waiting. Radek Zelinka's shot. And that was blocked on the way through. Zelinka again, and that's fought off by Arado. Great sprawling stop from Gabriel Arado. Novotny had to go past him, right to Wagner now. More from the Czechs. Centering feed. And the one-timer was fanned on by Alex Ohar. Back to Karel Wagner now. Wagner tries to center it. Enderle is there. Puck is loose. And Niles Larch will clear it up off the glass to the line, not out. Kept in by Zdeněk Hobb. Hobb into the right wing corner. Penalty is over. Italy's now 2 for 2 on the penalty kill and continuing to be pressed defensively. DePauli watching as it comes to Zelinka. Now into the slot. That puck broken up, and Tochi couldn't get to it. Alex Ohar does. And his outstretched stick finds Zelinka in the corner. Ohar being watched by Larch. Centering feed off of Andrioni. And right to the goaltender Arado, who will hang on and cover up. Italy hanging in tough as the Czechs continue to mount the pressure here in the opening period in quarterfinal number 1.
Got another parking ticket. Play 92, number 1 for throwbacks.
It's Kyler for Play 92. We'll catch you later.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Czechia leading Italy on the shot clock 6-1 here in the opening period, but as has been the story for the Italians, defense, the name of the game, scoreless here in the opening quarter final as we're into the playoff round. Here's a shot right on goal. Kubiš will turn back again. Pavel Kubiš down low, that's intercepted. To the line, not out. Held in by Zdeněk for Geyer. To the line. Another long shot, glove save, Arauto. A sprawling save as the shot came from Pavel Dolezal. That's a big one.
Dolezal with a bullet. Great save by Arauto. In the air, grabbed it. Spoke how the Italians are very comfortable with a game like this, Darren. In that game in Nova Scotia back in November, the shots were 23-4 for Czechia, but just 3-2 on the scoreboard. So Italy scored 2 goals on 4 shots. Different goalie than one that is here, but either way, Arauto putting on a show so far in this one, Darren.
Hey, if that's the game plan and it works, it's working for the Italians. But they do have to find those shots eventually. Good battle down low. Vesely. Filip Vesely. Couldn't hold it in. Karel Wagner does. Turning. Comes to Haab. Back in front. Vesely's shot. Another glove save from Arauto. As the Czechs continuing to put on the pressure, and that's another great chance off the stick of Filip Vesely.
And you see, it's a dangerous world for the linesmen, the referees out there too. Got to keep your heads up. It's a fast game, and Filip Vesely, very important forward for the Czechs. Darren, only 18 years of age, but very talented guy. Scored some huge goals for Czechia the last couple of years.
Patrick Sedlacek and now is Larch on the tied face-off. Comes back to Pavel Dolezal. Back to the line. Kubiš, left side. Shot from a tough angle. Stopped loose in front. Where's the rebound? Macri had it and just passed it over to the goaltender, Arauto. And Gabriel Arauto hanging on again with 2:18 to go in a scoreless first period.
And there's Arauto again, and it's mostly been the Santino Stilitano show. As you look at the Czech bench, there's their coach out of Bratislava, Slovakia, Jakub Novotny. Darren, you mentioned it in that interview. He was close to tears. He was so emotional about their performance, the Czechs against Canada. Only lose 2-1 to play like they did. Let me tell you, though, speaking of the Canadian coaching staff, they were pretty frustrated with the effort on the Canadian side.
Puck down to the corner. 2:08 to go here in the first. And it's sent out to the neutral zone by Andrea Andreoni. The Czechs will circle their way back up. Geyer had to go off of him, down in towards the goaltender, Arauto. And he will hang on inside the final 2 minutes now. Quiet opening period, but this has been Italy's MO. Sit back, play tight defensively, and when the chances come, you need to take advantage. Unfortunately, the issue is there hasn't been any chances in the first period.
There haven't been many chances. The Italians have also only 28 shots on goal in the entire tournament during the group stage. Only the Koreans had fewer.
Comes back up to Vesely, to Karel Wagner, down low for Radek Zelinka. He put it off the outside of the goal as Antoci has it now. Antoci banking it off the wall. Torella. And that was just in behind of Andreoni. Now sent down the ice, and this is going to be an icing call against Italy. And so a little bit of life as they had a clean breakout, but the icing call will put them right back in their own zone. As Karel Wagner has been all over the Italians. He's had 3 or 4 really good chances in the first.
Yeah, he's really good on the power play as well for the Czechians. Darren, very aggressive. As you look at he's actually 17 still, Philip Vesely right there, but the Czechians in the game last year, Darren played against the USA, and he scored a goal against them. So that's always big when you can score against the best in the world. He can tell his grandchildren. I'm sure he's pretty proud of that moment.
Absolutely, he should be. That's a big deal. The Americans, they don't get scored on very often. There's a give and go, but Torella breaks that up. Francesco Torella now from the outside. Shot from Geyer goes up high over top of the goal. Comes to Kubish. Pavel Kubish down low for Hečko. Vaclav Hečko to the blue line for Pavel Dolashal. His long shot into the near corner. 40 seconds to go in the first. At the line, Kubish. Geyer giving chase. Gets a great bounce off the boards. Mikael Geyer comes around. Turns. Fires. Oh, great shot. And that just missed. Dolashal had it hop over his stick. Has to turn back. Dolashal banks it off for Kubish. Pavel Kubish down low for Geyer. Give and go. The pass just a little too hot to handle. 16 seconds left in the first. Good effort here from the Czechs. Kubish in for Sedlacek. 9 seconds. Sedlacek. He's got to get the shot away. It's tied up in a crowd. The Italians will intercept that, have their breakaway, but time will expire in the opening period. Frantic action in the final minute. Graham Macri and the Italians, though, they're hanging in tough as the Czechs continue to press. Scoreless. 15 minutes into quarterfinal 1 here at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships in Moose Jaw.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Like a mirrored reflection, I have to steer you in the right direction. I have to trust that we can find a way.
On every trip, you can depend on Esso to be the place between places, connecting you to what's next.
Good morning!
So I got another Parkson ticket. Play 92, number 1 for throwbacks.
It's Kyler for Play 92. We'll catch you later.
It's your online portal to all things Moose Jaw. It's everything all in one location. Find it all at discovermoosejaw.com.
Mission Control, can we access the internet through that satellite?
Confirming, Geo satellite is internet capable.
Why do you ask?
Hello?
Are you streaming music right now?
What y'all trying to do? Saskatchewan. 620 CKRM. Scores! Jägerbomb!
in his first Paralympic Games for Canada. Here comes James Dunn with his first Paralympic goal. Like he's been doing it all his life.
"20 minutes in the books. Here is the day just getting started. Yes, quarterfinal Friday at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships in Moose Jaw. As we welcome you back upstairs for the first intermission alongside Jamie Neugebauer. I'm Darren DuPont. And this was exactly how you draw it up, right? I mean, if you're the Czechs, you put on all kinds of pressure. You got to find the back of the net. But for Italy, this is very comfortable for them. Not many teams would be comfortable being outshot 8-1 in the period, but they are, aren't they?
They are. They've been that way the whole tournament there, and they find a way. And this is what it was like when the Czechs and the Italians faced each other back in November as well. So the Italians have that in their minds, and when they're getting the goaltending, Darren, like they've gotten from Araudo tonight and Stilitano throughout the tournament, why not? If it works, it works, right?
We're going to see what happened in the opening period. How nervous are you, Jamie, if you're the Czechs, when you've had 2 power play chances, you've had 8 shots on goal, but you haven't beat Gabriel Araudo?
Haven't beat him, haven't gotten right to the house too much either. Been a lot of long shots on him, and you see a lot of 2, 3 white jerseys in front of Araudo every time. The Czechs are going to have to be brave, find a way to get into that little home plate area. They talk about that space right in front of the goalie. Can they do it? Can they bulldoze their way through? And Darren, from the other side, can the Italians get up the ice? Well, the one time they did it was end of the period there.
Right, they had the little break at the end and time expired, but that's the question. Yeah. How does Italy find a way to get pucks out and finally get some chances down at the other end? The only shot they had came from just inside the blue line.
Well, I always say, and this would be an upset if the Italians win. We'll call a spade a spade. You always need great goaltending. Araudo's done it. Maybe a power play situation can get the Italians up the ice. Their speed has not been able to get out of their own zone, Darren, so I guess we'll have to see. So far in that first 15, all we saw was Czech puck possession and puck movement. Can the Czechs find a way to get a better scoring opportunities out too?
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of it. Karel Wagner had 3 or 4 really good chances, and here's one of them that whistled up high over top of the net, Jamie.
Yeah, and you know, he was attacking some of those spaces as a defenseman, an extra defenseman into the play, and I think that's what the Czechs really have to do as well, is try to find some overloads into space. They've really let the Italians play man-on-man, keep them to the outside, and play a little bit of a rope-a-dope waiting game, and that's what the Italians are comfortable with. I think even though their shots are 8-1, I don't think there's any kind of panic for Mirko Bianchi in the Italian locker room because, as you said, Darren, this Italian team certainly used to this type of game. They did it in this tournament even against Italy and Germany, and Norway, and came out with 2 big wins for them to get to this spot. So it's a matter of, can the Czechs flip the script on them? Because other than that game one against China, that was a rout for Italy. The Italians have defended very, very well in this tournament. Other than that one game, Darren, they've only allowed 1 goal, the Italians have, in this tournament so far through 2 games in a period. So mission accomplished for sure for the Italians.
Now, almost 4 o'clock. Good time, a little after-school snack. Get a little popcorn going. School's out. Hockey's on in Moose Jaw. And, hey, some of the home fans cheering for the Czechs this afternoon. The winner of today's quarterfinal will face the United States, the number 1 seed. That game will be tomorrow in the same time slot, 3 p.m. local time, 5 Eastern. A little bit later on, it will be Korea and China in the second quarterfinal. Patrick Zidlacek will send that puck all the way in. On it is Geyer, as has been the story. Czechia off to a quick start again with the puck inside the offensive zone, but the Italians will relieve the pressure and clear it down the ice. 30 seconds into the second period. The United States looking on. They'll face the winner. Canada is sitting in Saturday's late quarterfinal. They'll play the winner of our semifinal. They'll play the winner of our second quarterfinal later tonight. Balasetti keeps the puck in. All the way down the ice to center ice. Italy firing it right back in. Met by Macri, and they're going to call that icing. Macri doesn't understand it, and I'm with the Italian captain. That puck was shot from right at center ice. Right now, Italy can't catch a break.
Yeah, no doubt. And there's one man that maybe can break it open for Czechia. That is Michel Geyer out of the Karlovy Vary program, a very long time para and ice hockey heavy city in Czechia, and he had 4 goals, 6 points at the 22 games. He's got 3 points in this tournament. He's the one guy, Darren, that can really open up a game for the Czechians. He's a talented guy, and also fun to watch. He had a little spinorama move in that first period, almost scored on it. He's the guy that the Czechians need to figure it out.
Here's the icing call we were talking about. Look at, I mean, that's as close as you get. I mean, it's where the puck leaves the stick, and yeah, it might have been on the other side of center. Good look by the guys in the truck. That's nice.
Maybe you need a magnifying glass, though, to see, but...
Puck will roll to Arauto. He will hang on and cover up. That icing shouldn't come back to be a problem here. It was another icing since Italy a little back on their heels, but they have a little more energy in the second period.
Well, you know, Darren, there's one thing to sit back and play rope-a-dope, and there's another thing to play without energy, and the Italians didn't have any energy getting out of their own zone, and that's the first step for them, is to move as a unit, get some pucks off of boards into good space, and make a little chase of it, because it's been very comfortable as well for the Czechians so far.
And Tochi to the blue line, not out, held in. Chance here, Vesely, and a shot stopped by Arauto. Philip Vesely, the 17-year-old, with a good shot, cruising in, but another save from the Italian netminder.
And so you'll see a good job there drawing 2 Italian defenders. Don't see them too often. As you just pulled it right there, you see them all collapsing, the 3 white jerseys onto Vesely, but Finally, Darren, one Czechian with the puck drew a couple defenders out of position. That allowed a lot of space for Vesely down the gut to get a good shot. Best team opportunity for the Czechians probably of the game right there.
Pavel Kubish in for Mikhail Geyer. Geyer stripped to the puck, and Drioni now takes a bump from Kubish. Pavel Kubish. Side of the goal, Enderle is there, and a couple Italians in front of the net will just clear it out of harm's way. The icing here, and I think Italy's okay with that when the puck was dangerously in front of the net. As you get a look at Philip Dolschall of the Czechs.
Yeah, and I think Coach Novotny was hoping for more energy from his team after the performance they had against Canada. I was expecting a guns a-blazing, heart-on-your-sleeve effort to start this one from the Czechians after they were so happy with their game against Canada. Haven't seen it yet.
Radek Zelinka back to Karel Wagner. Up to Zelinka as the Czechs have spent most of this game in the offensive zone. Alex Ohar's shot goes off the stick of Isabayu and Tochi and out the other side into the corner. Vesely, big hit. Ramadi Marnini to the line, not out. Wagner, Ohar, and Hobb. It comes into the corner for Zdenek Hobb. He takes a hard check, comes away with the puck. Vesely for Karel Wagner. Back to Vesely. Vesely catches up with it, top of the circle, plays it down low for Zidlacek, a shot, and that goes right through the crease. Zelinka to the middle for Wagner. His long shot right on and stopped by Arauto. So good puck movement, finally clearing out the middle of the ice for the long shot and a big Italian save.
And just a long shot from Ohar. That could have gone anywhere, and Tochi, his heart in his throat just a second right there. That could have flipped easily over Arauto and just get some pucks to the net. You saw Philip Vesely on that last shift pass up an opportunity to shoot it as well. Tried to go backdoor for a nicer play, but some simple hockey from Czechia might go a long way.
Italians to the blue line, but not out. Niles Larch. Some pressure, and he does clear. He's got a little bit of support from Christoph DePauli, who's had a quiet opening period. 1 goal in the tournament so far, but DePauli's been a real leader for Italy. He's blocking shots, making hits, and scored a key goal in the win over Norway. Now on the right wing side. Zidlacek drops it off. Larch is there to break it up. So is Vaclav Hečko for the Czechs. Long shot in. That was off a check. Zidlacek in front. Macri to the blue line. This will come out, and DePauli's going to get in after it. Out there with Dolezal. A race after it. And Pavel Dolezal will come away with the puck for Vaclav Hečko. Hečko watched by Larch in a reverse direction for Kubish. Up the near side. Geyer poking it forward. Zidlacek giving chase, but it comes to Stefan Kaufman. He'll button hook. Little trouble with it right at the Italian blue line. Cross ice pass. Hečko was changing. Comes back out. Zdenek Hobb after it, but it's offside at the Italian blue line. Cautious start to the second period. Still deadlocked in a scoreless tie here in the quarterfinals of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships.
Kick off spring in style with new offers from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Costco is back, and eligible members can receive a $750 bonus on select trucks and full-size SUVs. Step into the powerful 2022 Chevy Silverado or 2022 GMC Sierra 1500 with low financing rates starting at 1.49% for up to 72 months. Drive in comfort and style with the versatile 2023 Equinox and 2023 Terrain, featuring standard heated seats, advanced safety features, and a modern infotainment system with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Or opt for the spacious and refined 2023 Buick Enclave with standard all-wheel drive starting from as low as 2.99% financing. Don't miss out on these limited time offers. Visit us today to experience the thrill of driving.
And there's Pavel Dolezal, such an important defenseman, and with the hair flowing behind his bucket there, Darren, and the way he's physical and big out there. I know different position, but a little Jaromir Jagr vibes and a great Czechian legend for me out there. Gotta love to see that.
You need 68, not 67.
67, flowing hair.
I like it. Long shot in, stopped by Gabriel Arauto, the 48-year-old Italian netminder, coming into today's game after Santino Stilitano did great work to get the team into this point. Gets a much-deserved rest here in the quarterfinal. You see the big stop in from the long point shot, but that's how confident the Italians are in both goaltenders. And when you got a couple of veterans, Arado's 48 years old, Stilitano's 53 years old. So for Mirko Bianchi, he's got veterans back there, but also the ability to manage playing the hot hand, giving rest so you can be ready to go. It was such an emotional win over Norway with the Germans looking on. So Arado gets the start today, and he's doing very well. Now in front, Alex Ohar shot. Oh, what a save! Puck is still loose, and Torella gets it away as it was sitting on the doorstep with a wide open net. Couple of great chances for the Czechs once again. Usabayu and Tochi to the blue line. He's got it locked in the corner with Zdeněk Hobb, and Hobb comes away with it with some help from Alex Ohar. Ohar drops it off for Hobb, and he takes a hard bump from Matteo Romati Marnini. Now Tochi, spun the wrong way. Hobb comes in, picks it up for the Czechs in the corner. Hobb being watched. Matteo Romati Marnini now pokes it forward. Here's a little break for Andrioni, and he'll put it into the corner as Radek Zelinka came in hard on the back check. Vesely for Zelinka. Zelinka up ahead for Alex Ohar at center, being back pressured by Niles Larch. Larch comes in with a little bit of a bump. Played forward for Karel Wagner, a long shot right on, and Gabriel Arado will have that one in the glove.
And the Czechians are going to their third power play and a hook call. As you see the speed of Zelinka getting back. Great back check there by the defenseman Zelinka, who was caught off ice just a little bit and took a chunk out of Andrioni on the way through. But Czechia 0 for 2 at the power play. And very interesting. Keep an eye on Geyer on the near boards as Niels Larch going off for the hook. Near boards, number 74 for the Czechians. They've tried to find him on the power play.
Off the face-off. Quick shot by Mikhail Geyer. Forward for Miroslav Novotny. Novotny for Sedlacek. A long shot in. Missed wide to the left. Patrick Sedlacek to the goal, and that's hung on and covered up. So one thought here and one clerical thing to clear up. Today's quarterfinal winner will actually play Canada, not the U.S. as we previously stated. So it's Canada who will play the winners of the Czechs here and the Italians. In the second quarterfinal tonight, China and Korea. The winner will play the U.S. So apologize for that mistake. We've been clarified on the draw. There is no reseeding, which we knew. But the winner of this game will play Canada in the late game tomorrow. As the puck cleared down the ice by the Italians. As this Czech power play goes to work for the third time in the hockey game.
Boy, that'll be fun later. I mean, this one's a lot of fun too, but Korea, China, rematch of the bronze medal game from Beijing, reminder.
Niles Larch had the puck tied up. Vesely for Sedlacek. Patrick Sedlacek for Hobbs. Zdeněk Hobb, a shot. And a big stop from Arado, who hangs on with 49 seconds to go on the penalty.
And Sedlacek, or was it Wagner? I believe it was actually Wagner, the defenseman you see at the top of your screen right there. He's been very aggressive attacking weak side, and Zdeněk Hobb was not able to see him. Might have had an open net if he found him for the one-timer there. Karel Wagner's been probably the best Czech defenseman tonight, definitely offensively.
Scramble, face-off, comes to Zelinka. Couldn't get the shot away. Macri is there, and Andrea Macri will clear it down the ice. 37 seconds left in this third Czech power play. They're 0 for 2 in the hockey game. It was the third-ranked power play in the tournament coming into the game. Just 5 power play opportunities coming in. They've had 3 in this game alone. Radek Zelinka will start the breakout for the Czechs. He's got 1 of the 5 Czechia goals in the tournament. Macri is going to carry this forward, plays it off the skates of the line of the referee, and it's out of play right in the Czech bench with just 1 second to go in the power play. So the Czechs will be 0 for 3 in the power play. Italy has to find a way to stay out of the box and start playing at the other end of the ice.
Yeah, the Czechians just gripping their sticks a little tight, it seems, right now. And Coach Novotny right there. As I said earlier, Darren, they just got to play some simpler hockey. It looks like they're looking for the perfect play to try to wade through the white ocean of defenders that they have to get through, but they've been the most dangerous when they're just putting pucks on, bodies in front, simple stuff.
Puck played forward. Larch is out of the penalty box, but he's in offside. And they're going to call this play down as Niles Larch was giving chase. The face-off, I believe, is going to come back towards the Italian zone here. So 6:41 to go in the second, and we're still scoreless.
Yeah, 13-1 are the shots for Czechia. A couple of them dangerous, though. Arauto's been awesome in the Italian net again. That's really the story. The Italian goaltending has been the darling almost of the tournament so far.
Czechs win the face-off now. Geyer into the corner racing after it. Enderle was there along with Radis. Pinned along the wall. It's around the board. Zidlacic to the blue line. Goes up high, and Dolezal couldn't get it in deep. It's out to center ice, and Geyer is back after it. Being watched by Alex Enderle. Off the board, Vaclav Hečko has it knocked down by Matteo Ramadi Marnini. Now Larch flips it forward, takes a hard hit from Zidlacic. Now Kubish, Pavel Kubish in for Vaclav Hečko. Hečko turns. He stick-handled left to right, but didn't get the shot away. Now Geyer, smooth through the zone, but that play broken up by Larch, and it's out to center ice. The Czechs will regroup. Now some lane opening up for Zidlacic. He's met by Antoci, and it's into the corner for Roberto Radis. Goes D to D, off the wall to the blue line, held in by Karel Wagner. Wagner left it there. Chance for Vesely. Back to Wagner, one-time shot, and a sprawling save from Arauto. It's cleared down the ice. This won't have enough to go for icing, but 5 Italians head off for the change. Can the Czechs catch him on the line change? They're away with speed now. Radek Zelinka to center. Forward for Alex Ohar. Ohar walking down the side. In front, they score! Zdeněk with the one-touch feed home. And the Czechs have finally opened the scoring on this, their 15th shot on goal.
Yeah, just a little center lane drive. Nobody had a hobble back door. And just great feed by Ohar to see him through about 2 or 3 white jerseys. Beautiful feed, beautiful finish. Hobble making no mistake. No extra touches in front, just poke that home. And that's what the Czechs had to do, be a little bit braver, go hard to the front of the net, throw pucks there, good things happen, but just a beautiful feed by Alex Ohar. And by the way, that's both those guys' first points of the tournament, Ohar and Hobble. Not a bad time, Darren, to get your first.
Well, we've seen Zdeněk come back with 3 or 4 really good chances in this hockey game. Finally, though, after all the zone time, it was the Czechs on the rush that were able to open the scoring. So 1-0, the Czechs now lead. And we're into the final 5 minutes of the second period. So all the hard work pays off here in the second. 1-0 Czechia in the quarterfinal.
And there's the hit by Patrick Sedlacek. I think it really sparked the Czechians. They had 2 or 3 good chances right off of the momentum, Darren, that hit made. And it turned into the goal eventually, but big hits, get energy, good things happen. Simple formula for the Czechians on those shifts.
Now a chance in front for Geyer. Oh, point blank. How did he miss that? Into the corner now. Dolshall in for Mikael Geyer. Geyer drops it off for Pavel Dolshall. Into the middle. Kubish scores! Great feed, and Pavel Kubish finishes it off. It's 2-0 for the Czechs.
And all the momentum is with Czechia now, folks. Pavel Kubish alone in front. Slow rotation by DePauli. You don't see him miss assignments too much. Dolezal with a great feed, but it doesn't matter because Kubish, a beautiful finish. Arauto, nothing he could do. And you can play rope-a-dope, as we said, but that's tiring to do that all game. And the Czechians are finally finding gaps. But I go back to that hit by Sedlacek a couple minutes ago. That momentum changed. Something shifted in the building from that moment on. The Czechians are here for business now.
Well, a great pass, a great finish, and not a lot changing from the way they played the opening period. But they're a little more patient and capitalizing on the chances. For Pavel Kubish, his first of the tournament, and what a great time to get on the board for the first time in a key quarterfinal matchup. 3:33 to go here in the second. And a face-off coming up here, and a penalty call, a teeing call. And so Italy's going to get their first chance in the power play, as it'll be Alex Ohar heading to the box on the tee. So Italy, a chance to get right back in this game.
And the Italians 0 for 7 with the power play so far in this tournament. But I mentioned, how can they get into this game? Throw out those stats maybe and take advantage right now. They finally got into the Czechian zone. 3:24 into the second period. They finally get a power play.
Time of that penalty was 6:36, so Geyer now shorthanded on the attack, and he scores! What a goal from Mikael Geyer! Upstairs, 11 seconds into the Italian power play, and it's 3-0. They've really broken it open now.
What a bullet by Mikael Geyer on the power play, or the shorthanded, pardon me. Just a rocket. Fake with the right, bullet with the left. Always talk about that, shows the best players in the para game. Can you shoot it with the left and the right? And Geyer showed Arauto right. Used the left over the glove. What a cannon that was from the Czechian star. And you said it, the floodgates are open, and love the Selly. Having some fun, why not? Sports are supposed to be fun, Darren. And Mikael Geyer having a little fun right there.
as he should. Tons of speed, and away he went down that left side. And as impressive as the speed was, man, that shot and finish, there wasn't a lot of room. And I don't know what else Gabriel Arata can do. That was a laser. Still a minute 25 to go in the Italian power play. Tied up now below the goal. Zdenek Ob with a chance, back of the net. Back out to center ice. DePauli and Enderle are there. Christoph DePauli now. Up ahead for Niles Larch. Larch turning across the Czech blue line for Macri. A shot sails up high and wide on the near side. Kaufman down low, sidesteps Hobb for Macri to Kaufman. Up top for Enderle. Enderle stripped of the puck, and it's out to center ice, but not a clean look. Otherwise, Vesely might have had a break. Vesely bumped by Enderle, and now Macri in to help out. Andrea Macri and Alex Enderle for the Italians against Filip Vesely. Now ahead for Stefan Kaufman. He'll play it cross ice. Minute and a half to go in the second period. 3-0. The Czechs have opened up the lead here in the quarterfinal. Kubish has one of the goals, and he plays it off the wall up to center ice for Vaclav Hečko. Hečko, left side. Waits, centers it. Intercepted by Macri, and he plays it to the end wall. Geyer. Back up for Kubish. Cycled in for Hečko. Hečko back up top for Dolshall. For Michael Geyer. Geyer grabs his own loose puck. Geyer centers it back up top, and Kubish had it hop over his stick. More pressure late here from the Czechs in front for Alex Ohar. The one-time shot was blocked and cleared down the ice. Icing call here against the Italians with 41.1 seconds to play in the period.
And what a luxury the Czechians have for their future and present with Michel Geyer in the lineup, but also 5 forwards born in the year 2000. And sooner we saw Sedlacek, the 22-year-old, making a big impact. Alex Ohar, only 19. And those guys are going to learn a lot from the veteran Geyer, Darren, and what a great thing for them to have him as a mentor.
I would agree. It's been a lot of fun to watch here at the Worlds. Now Karel Wagner back up top. Odd couldn't clear that puck. DePauli up off the wall, trying to spring Niles Larch. It just was intercepted. Czech sent it right back in. 12 seconds to go in the period. Kaufman lost his stick. Oh! Takes a hard bump from Sedlacek. He's going to draw the penalty. Interference will be the call on one of the hardest hits we've seen so far in the tournament.
Yeah, Patrick Sedlacek, folks. He loves to lay the body. And here he comes into your kitchen. Boom. Lowers the boom on one of the better players for Italy, Kaufman there. It was his check earlier in the period that started the momentum for the Czechians. That time the puck was gone a couple of Mississippis away. So a pretty clear interference call, but I think the Czechians don't mind that. Keep that momentum going. And that young man, Sedlacek, one of the hardest hitters, forget about in on the Czechians, Darren, in this tournament.
I agree. Wow, what a hit. It rattled me, my bones up here. That was solid. But it was interference. 7 seconds off the face-off here. The Italian second power play. The period's going to expire. And we will head to the break. Yes, the second power play for the Italians, but the first one, it's a shorthanded goal from Michael Geyer. That's the extra insurance. They've broken through. That goal makes it 3-0 Czechia over the Italians here in the quarterfinal after 30 minutes of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Like a mirrored reflection, I have to steer you in the right direction. I have to trust that we can find a way.
On every trip, you can depend on Esso to be the place between places, connecting you to what's next.
Good morning!
So I got another parking ticket. Play 92, number 1 for throwbacks.
It's Kyler for Play 92. We'll catch you later.
It's your online portal to all things Moose Jaw. It's everything all in one location. Find it all at discovermoosejaw.com.
Mission Control, can we access the internet through that satellite?
Confirming GeoSatellite is internet capable.
Why do you ask?
Hello?
Are you streaming music right now?
What y'all trying to do?
he's been doing it all his life.
15 minutes remaining in the first of two quarterfinals here on a Friday in Moose Jaw. Czechia's opened up a 3-0 lead after 30 minutes on the Italians. Jamie Neugebauer, Darren DuPont with you here from Moose Jaw in our first quarterfinal. Later on tonight, it'll be China and Korea in quarterfinal number 2. So the winner of that one will get the USA tomorrow afternoon as we look ahead to tonight's game. China and Korea got the tournament leading scorer on the ice.
Yeah, Yifeng Shen, Darren, what a treat. He has been 11 goals in 3 games, not too shabby. Korea's got to find a way to slow him down. He scored 2 in the Beijing bronze medal game against Korea as well back in March of 2022. So these two teams, obviously a lot of familiarity in Asia out there. It's going to be very, very interesting to see if the Koreans can find a way to contain Shen Yifeng.
Yeah, it really will, and that will be fun to watch. Meanwhile, Canada and U.S. enjoying the day off, waiting to find out who their opponents will be in the semifinals tomorrow. And the third period today, Italy has done everything they can defensively, but eventually the dam breaks, and Czechia, bang, 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 3 goals and a 3-0 lead.
Well, the Czechians also, Darren, showing why they are a Group A caliber country. Italy able to play the rope-a-dope against the Germans, who had good moments in this tournament. Rope-a-dope against the Norwegians, who I think had a disappointing tournament. The Czechians just another cut above. You see the stats right there. The one that jumps out, obviously, off the page, Darren. The 19-1 shots. The Italians had a very hard time, Darren, just getting up the ice, getting into the Czechian zone. The one time they did, they got a power play from it. But you never say never. Obviously, that's why they play the game. 15 minutes. You never know.
Well, the key stat, the shots, 11-0 in that second period for Czechia, and they scored 3 goals. We got to look at, Italy had a couple of chances, but every time they did, like this one from Andrioni, it was Radek Zelinka defensively shutting it down without a shot on goal.
Yeah, I think the speed of the Czechs as a team really caused Italy a lot of problems in that period. You see the goal that finally broke the dam. Ohar to Zdeniak Hobble on a beautiful finish. Both those guys getting their first points of the tournament. Just a nice little center lane drive by Hobble right down the middle. Nothing fancy there. Dolezal with a beautiful feed right there. Kubesh got lost on a slow rotation by De Pauli. Got lost because the defenseman activated behind him. And a beautiful finish by Kubesh, who, by the way, has been very involved for Czechia throughout the tournament. But here's the beauty of the tournament. Right hand, left hand bullet by Michel Geyer, the Czechian superstar. Gets his goal, his second of the tournament. And he's going to be hungry for more. The Czechians in the last 5 minutes, especially of the second period, really felt like they were smelling blood in the water. A little celebration there, sheathing his sword, as it were, Michel Geyer. And that fan, I'm sure, enjoying the talents of that man right there.
Yeah, Michel Geyer, the shorthanded goal for the Czechs. That was a real backbreaker and a tough one. So we're going to get the Italians on the power play to start. And a penalty came 7 seconds left in the second period. So we'll see how much the Italians can throw here at the Czechs on the power play. On their first power play opportunity, it was the Czechs who scored the shorthanded marker. Niles Larch, Christophe De Pauli out there, along with Alessandro Andrioni on the power play. Andrea Macri is going to skate back after this. He's on the back end with Antocci on the Italian power play unit. Still 3-0 for the Czechs over the Italians. Now another shorthanded chance. Vaclav Hečko fanned on it, rolled right off the edge of his stick, the end of his stick, and the Italians will start the breakup to the blue line. Where's the puck? There's a shot right on goal. Another chance on the rebound, and it's stopped by Araudo, who will hang on. It's an Italian power play, but you wouldn't know with the pressure the Czechs are putting on.
Well, the size of Dolezal making a problem for the Italians trying to break out of their own zone. To see him right there, just kind of getting in the way, and it turned into a very good scoring opportunity for Vaclav Hetsko, and you get a look there. Hetsko getting a good shot, and Araudo a very good save. Made 18 saves already.
Chance forward, Stefan Kaufman. He's going to get that puck. He collided with his teammate, Niles Larch. It's been that kind of an afternoon for the Italians. Just can't quite get everything working in the same direction. Macri left it there for DePauli. He's stripped of the puck. Ohar ahead. Long shot from Hobbs. Zdenikov for Radek Zelinka. Back for Ohar. 25 seconds left here on the Italian power play. Cleared to the blue line. Karel Wagner. No, he won't hold it in. And now the offside call against the Czechs.
And yeah, Darren, I mean, obviously 13:21 to go in the third. This game's not over. But the Italians, I would say, Darren, have done really what they wanted to do coming to this tournament. They wanted to get experience. They wanted to play some good games in a great venue. But they wanted to avoid any kind of thought of relegation. And they've done that. Mission accomplished. They beat the Germans. They beat the Norwegians. They did what they were supposed to and they were hoping to. I think Italy and other fans have to be very proud of this group no matter what happens in the next 13 minutes.
Yeah, you always see some surprises in international tournaments and teams that shock the world and other ones that disappointed. And I think Italy's definitely that, going the right way. And this will be a tough tournament for Norway going the other way into relegation. There's a chance here. Sidlacek got bumped by Andreoni. Hetchko coming in. Vaclav Hetchko. Chance. And almost Sidlacek on the rebound, but a nice job by the blocker. And there's another sprawling save. Now Sidlacek. Into the slot. Geyer turned it back up for Kubish. One-touch feed for Sidlacek. Patrick Sidlacek. Backhand pass for Vaclav Hetchko. Hetchko around the wall. Comes across for Dolezal. Pavel Dolezal. Being pressured. Geyer has Kubish circling. Drop pass. Pavel Kubish's shot. What a save again from Araudo, who's still engaged here in the third period.
And you see the attention that Michel Geyer garners from the other team. Brought on an Italian, skated with him instead of following his man Kubish, and that created space for Kubish to pick his spot. Geyer making some moves. Two Italians got caught high, and Italy and whoever faces Czechia will pay a lot of attention to Geyer, Darren. That just opens space for other players.
Bruno Balasetti's out for the Italians. Haven't seen a lot of him here this afternoon. Ohar will send it in. Comes to Stefan Kaufman. Kaufman met by Vesely. Philip Vesely for Alex Ohar, and Radek Zelinka out as well. Zelinka's going to turn back after this. He'll go D to Karel Wagner. Wagner makes a move at center ice. And watched by Macri. Ahead for Alex Ohar. He's bumped off the puck by Kaufman. Played forward. And a break now for the Italians. Larch with Kaufman. Kaufman to Larch. But Zdenikov coming back with a great job on the back check. And the Czechs clear the zone. And an icing call here with 3:57 gone in the third period.
Just the foot speed of the Czechians, pardon me, is just a problem for the Italians. Whenever they get up the ice on a break, the back check of the Czechians just a little bit too much. Even if Italy has had some space in front of them, there's a red jersey steaming behind them or on top of them within minutes. And the energy and effort has been there for Czechia all night. They haven't taken this for granted.
No, they haven't. You're right. Like Zdeněkov on that back check. He's flying up there. Tons of speed. And now Roberto Radis trying to keep this puck in the zone. He won't be able to. The speed of the Czechs has been a problem here for the Italians. As Matteo Ramati Marnini coming in ahead of the play, offside. So the face-off in the neutral zone. 4:23 into period 3.
Like he's been doing it all his life.
Third period here in the afternoon action on day 1 of the playoff round. Quarterfinal number 1. Czechia with a 3-0 lead over Italy. Winner of this game will play Canada. Mikael Geyer played it up over top of the net. Centering feed. Intercepted. The Americans, they'll be watching tonight. China and Korea in our second quarter final. Long shot in. And that's the second shot on goal from the Italians in the hockey game. The first since way back in the first period. And I actually don't even think they're going to get credit for it on the scoreboard. Down low. Quick feed in front. Arauto makes the save, and the puck is covered up. And he's going to hang on here. Another crowd in front. But again, it's team defense from the Italians.
And replay, check out the size and strength of Dolezal making that happen. He manhandles Radice there to generate the play. He took the Italian off the puck with some sheer strength. Dolezal continues to be impressive here today. He set up a great chance for Geyer up the ice.
Kaufman down in the corner. To the left side for Larch. He can't clear. Met there by Philip Wesley. Vesely to the blue line. Held it in. Vesely down low. In for Miroslav Novotny, and he's knocked off the puck. Radek Zelinka and Novotny. A little give and go. Now the Italians on the breakout. Hard check from Novotny. Vesely turned into the wall. OR takes a little bit of a bump from Kaufman. Good scramble for it. Comes back to Zelinka. The Czech captain Zelinka in. Vesely dribbles it towards the goal. Cleared out of harm's way. Zelinka will get there first. Radek Zelinka in the corner. Nobody there in red except Stefan Kaufman of the Italians. Kaufman for Larch on the breakout. Oh, nice little spin. Finally, the Italians get it out now for DePauli. A little bit of a break. Great job feeding that puck to himself. He's all by himself, though, and he just puts it in back of the goal. 6:34 gone in the period. Still 3-0 Czechia. DePaoli giving chase with Dolshall. Pavel Dolshall takes a bump from Christoph DePaoli. Pavel Kubish to the line, not out. Andrioni keeps it in. Back of the net for DePaoli. Now Italy's got something going. DePaoli back up top for Macri. Macri watched by Ohar in the corner. Pinned against the wall. Larchin to help out. Comes to Kaufman, a shot right on. And it's stopped. Martin Cudella hasn't been busy, but he makes a save here to keep the Italians off the board.
Yeah, excellent shift by Macri and Larch out there. The Italians get it straight to the front of the net. Cudella, great job of rebound control. Good board battle here as Kaufman and Larch been the real danger combo for Italy throughout this tournament. Macri a defensive presence for the Italians. But yeah, 7:47 to go in the third. Yes, the shot clock looks crazy, but it's only 3 shots. I mean, plenty of time for Italy to mount something here.
Czechia wins the draw, and they'll clear it to the line and out to center ice. Alex Enderle batted it back, but now Czechia in transition. Right side, Hobb to the slot, broken up. Kubish plays it down low. Rubel, David Rubel couldn't get the puck in deep and hold the line. Czechia back out to center. Martin Zazlowski and David Rubel getting a rare shift here for the Czechs in the third period. And more ice time. Now up top, long shot in, up high over top of the goal. Inside 7 minutes to go. Karel Wagner takes a bump from Andrioni. Wagner back to the blue line, long shot from Hobb. Rubel into the corner. Romati Marnini to the line and out to center ice. Vaclav Hečko will turn back for Czechia. Hečko, good feed for Geyer. Trying to split the D. Working on Antoci. Drops pass. Shot. Scores. Radek Zelinka picks up the puck and puts it home.
And it's the defenseman's second of the game. And we talked about it throughout the broadcast that Geyer takes up so much attention. 2 Italians paying close attention to Geyer. That allows Zelinka time to bake a cake and pick his spot in front. And nothing Arauto can really do once Zelinka got in there, and a beautiful finish. But look at Geyer, cruises over, and both Italians paying really close attention. Macri and Antoci, and Zelinka recognizing where the space is going to be, goes to it. We talked about what makes Team USA so good, Darren, in a previous broadcast. They go into spaces. They think about where to be as opposed to where the puck is. And Zelinka showing his awareness right there, knowing Geyer is going to vacate his space, go into that space, and Geyer will find you. And made no mistake on the finish. Good, solid stuff from Czechia right there.
Yeah, Radek Zelinka's second of the tournament. And a 4-0 lead for the Czechs. Face-off will come in the neutral zone, and looks like a rematch with the Canadians from just a couple of days ago, and a 2-1 Canada win. So I'm sure the Czechs looking forward to another opportunity, this time maybe get the upper hand on the host team.
Yeah, you saw what it meant to Jakub Zabatny in that interview post-game. And I spoke to Canada's video coach, Andrew Boucher, after the game. He was not thrilled with Canada's performance in that game. Thought they were low on energy, low on physicality. We got to give the Czechs a lot of credit. They played very well that game.
Andrea Macri in a little battle in the neutral zone with Vaclav Hečko. Off the wall. It's poked right back to the Italian blue line. Balacetti plays it forward. Large had it tied up for a second. And now we got the play called on a hand pass here. 5:32 left here in quarterfinal number 1. The Canadians await the winner. Czechia leading by 4 in the third.
It's your online portal to all things Moose Jaw. It's everything all in one location. Find it all at discovermoosejaw.com.
Mission Control, can we access the internet through that satellite?
Confirming Geo Satellite is internet capable.
Why do you ask?
Hello?
Are you streaming music right now?
What y'all trying to do?
Well, Darren, there's Dolezal back out there. We were just thinking, producer Clark and I, about who would be the best time maybe to hang out with guys we've seen in this tournament. Dolezal's up there, herring for Germany. Do you have anybody else that you've thought about?
Oh, there's a lot. Getting to know these players. It's a fun group across all 8 teams, no doubt. You just want to hang out with them because then you get a photo and tell people you're with Jaromir Jagr.
100%.
It's a lot of fun, this tournament, and getting the chance to get up and spend some real time with the players and the personnel here at the World Para Ice Hockey Championships. And still, it feels like a lot left, even though it's just 2.5 days remaining.
And Novotny with a good shot on a roto there. The truck people were all saying that they would like to hang out with Stantino Stilitano, the goalie for Italy, and obviously Dolezal's my pick.
Yeah, I like it. You know, one of the favorites, I think, would be, for me, there's been a lot of great players. The Czechs, very great, a lot of personality, fun, friendly. But the favorite interaction I've had is with U.S. goaltender Jen Lee.
Oh.
I was short, but had a good little convo with him near the buffet and got to know him a little bit and excited for the Americans tomorrow and into Sunday. So if you needed a pick, that's who I would pick.
There you go. Nothing like a personal touch. I was trying to tell Coach Harrington of Canada where to go, and there's a great chicken wing establishment close to here that I was trying to get the Canadians to attend, but I'm not sure if they took my recommendation.
Good long shot went up over top of the net. Kubish couldn't get on the rebound. Mikael Geyer put it right off Christoph DePauli, and it's out to center ice. Geyer, little drop feed. Kubish has to hustle to get after it. Passing behind Geyer. Basiletti forward. Haven't seen a lot of Bruno Basiletti, the veteran Italian D-man. But getting some action here in the third period. Now to center ice. That pass in behind Hetchko, and it's down the ice ahead of Andrea Macri for icing against Czechia. So face-off back down in their zone.
And you mentioned not seeing a lot of the veteran Bruno Balosetti. He and another guy who's actually not in the lineup at all today, and you wonder what impact that had with Gianluca Cavalieri not in the lineup for Italy on the back end as well. But Macri and Balosetti and Cavalieri, all important pieces of organizing the tournament for the Paralympics in Cortina in 2026 as well. So those guys doing a good job of giving back as well.
2-on-1 shaping up here for the Czechs. Sedlacek going to the net. Gets the feed, the shot. Where's the puck? It's underneath the goaltender, Arauto. And now he'll get the whistle, and he'll hang on. Good chance once again for the Czechs here in the late stages.
And you see Sedlacek saying sorry to Guy for not burying that one. For Sedlacek, the young hotshot, and Geyer, the experienced superstar, and talked about how great it is for Sedlacek to learn from Geyer. But this save by Arauto also spectacular, just taking away the bottom of the net. You know, Sedlacek didn't get everything he would have liked on that one.
Italians having a little trouble here on the breakout. Back of the net, Philip Vesely has that play broken up. Francesco Torella protecting the puck right now. Being harassed by Vesely a little bit, and Ohar as well. Macri coming in to help out. Puck comes back up. Wagner, shot. That's stopped and hung on to by Arauto. Another good opportunity from Karel Wagner, the defenseman from Czechia.
Well, how do you beat a tightly packed defense? Well, it's important for the defenseman to jump in and be that fourth guy in on the offense. And Karel Wagner has done that all day for Czechia. Darren been really good at picking his spots. A lot of opportunities, hasn't buried yet, but what a wonderful game from Karel Wagner in this one.
Tied up off the draw, and Italy will clear the zone. Good draw away. It's not going to go for icing. Inside 2.5 minutes to play. Zdenikov out of the reach of Pavel Kubish. Now across the Italian blue line. Left wing side. Zhizlavsky into the corner now. First on it for Italy. Usabayu and Tochi into the corner. Italy on the breakout, around for Matteo Romati Marnini. And the puck will roll up through the neutral zone. Andrioni was in chase, but Zdenikov will get there first. 1:41 now to go in the third period, and we look ahead to tonight. It's China and Korea in our second quarter final. Canada and USA have already advanced to the semifinals on Saturday. There's the Chinese looking on, excited and ready to go, and they've been real fun to watch in this tournament.
They've been electric. 22 goals, 4-2 against. Wang Zhidong and Shen Yifeng, those two just absolutely have put on a show here in Moose Jaw. Worth it to tune in at 7, folks. Absolutely, those guys are fun to watch.
Icing call here against Italy. So the Italians will be off to the 5-6 game against the loser of the second quarter final tonight. So they'll look on to find their opponent. Will it be China or will it be Korea? But I think regardless, you've got to be happy if you're the Italians. You're disappointed to not reach the semifinal and get into the medal round, but you made the playoff round, and you also avoided relegation, as there's another stop from Arauto.
Well, in any international tournament, they always talk about how important it is to avoid relegation for things like funding, but for this Italian program, I mentioned it, they're wanting to build towards 2026 when they host the Paralympics. And that means it's important to stay in the A pool and play against good competition. So mission absolutely accomplished here in Moose Jaw for the Italians. They've been kind of the Cinderella darlings too. You always have to have a team like that in a tournament.
Well into the final minute now, 45 seconds to go, and you're right, looking forward to the 2026 Olympic and Paralympic Games in Milano Cortina. 38 seconds here in our first quarter final. Kaufman along the wall. Italy hung in the opening period. They got outshot 8-1, but kept the Czechs off the boards before Zdeněk Hobb, late in the second period, was able to find the net. Pavel Kubiš, Mikael Geyer also scored in that period, and Radek Salinka has added his second of the tournament here in the third. 4-0 Czechia. Final few seconds of the hockey game as the Czechs get loud, and they're off to face the Canadians in the semifinal of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships. A great effort from start to finish. They put 30 shots on goal and a shutout for Martin Cadella. He only had to make 3 saves. 2 of them were big ones. The Czechs get their rematch with the Canadians.
And I think if you're the Czech coach, you also got to think, it's not just about winning this game. It's not just about winning this game for nothing. It's not even just about the 30-1 shot, so that's all very nice. It's the eye test, it's the habits, it's the details, the back checking we saw from the Czechs, the physicality we saw from the Czechs, the understanding of finding space. Their face-off plays were crisp. We saw great performances from Karl Wagner and Pavel Dolezal on the back end. And when Vapenka was called upon, he didn't look, Martin Kudela was called upon, he didn't look shaky or nervous, wasn't getting any rebounds up. It was just a very complete, mature performance by Czechia.
We'll join our in-house public address now for our post-game presentation.
Roger W. Ross and Brandy Jones. This piece was designed specifically for the 2023 World Para Ice Hockey Championship. Inspired by the game itself, the movement created in Brandy Jones' authentic style is meant to mimic the players in full flight. The flags acknowledge the world coming together in spirited competition, as well as the Métis, Treaty 4, and Saskatchewan flags, which pay homage to the host community, Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. To present the Player of the Game award to Team Czechia will be Louis Phelan, Technical Director of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships, and to present to Team Italy, Jalen Knudsen, Coordinator of Operations of the World Para Ice Hockey Championships. Today's best player of the game for Team Italy is number 18, Andrea Macri.
Macri, the Italian captain, logged a ton of ice. He was good. He's been good in this entire tournament. Well deserving today.
Yeah, just your paragon of gritty, difficult to play against Italian defensemen. No Mario Cavalieri or Gianluca Cavalieri, today. So he had even more minutes to deal with and did his best for sure.
The game for Team Czechia, number 82, Zdeněk Hobb.
Very good for Hobb. Got his first of the tournament, buzzing around the net all afternoon, and really one of the leaders for this Czechia team offensively. They finally broke through in that second period, and they never looked back.
Game-winning goal in a playoff game as well. Finished off a beautiful feed by Alex Ohar halfway through the second period, and broke the floodgates open for Czechia after it had been tight shut by the Italians.
So all that's left to do now here in the quarterfinal is our national anthem of Czechia.
And remove your hats for the playing of the national anthem of Team Czechia.
Czechia off to the semifinals, where they'll meet Canada on Saturday night here in Moose Jaw. We've got one more quarterfinal coming your way, 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock local time, as the playoff rounds continue. This afternoon and tonight, it's China-Korea in our second quarterfinals. Until then, for our entire production team and Jamie Neugebauer, I'm Darren DuPont. Thanks for watching the World Para Ice Hockey Championships from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada.